Here we go. Happy draft night. Draft night number 2, second and third round. Steelers fans, Steelers Nation. Of course, I got to bring on the best, my man Cam Heyward. I got Willie Cologne. I'm backstage. Going to bring him on as well. Cam, how are we doing on a Friday night, man?
Man, I'm good. You know, family's winding down. About to watch this draft. Have some, hopefully we have some luck tonight, and it's going to be fun.
All right, I'm going to bring on Willie here. He's going to join us. Willie, make sure you got your mic unmuted, my man.
Cam, what up, baby?
What's up?
What up, family?
How you been?
Man, I'm just floating, baby. Kids, business, work, just floating.
Cam, you said you want to have some luck tonight. What's luck look like for you and for our Steelers, you think?
Man, I think we got to go O-line. Just continue to add to that front. Maybe a corner late or a tight end. But you got to see. You don't know how this thing's going to fall. One thing I've learned over time is don't put all your all your eggs in one basket. I remember there were years before I'd be like, man, why didn't we go for this guy? And then what do you know? We get an all-pro and TJ Watt you never question what the organization feels.
Yeah, so you were so TJ Watt was a guy that you were kind of like, I don't know about.
No, I'm kidding. I use that as an example, but TJ was definitely a guy I was looking forward to have, and I was kind of excited that he fell to 30, which is crazy. You look back, that dude would have probably went top 5. So we definitely benefited in the long run.
Well, if you think about it, Cam, I mean, the guys you came in with your rookie year. Look at Steve McClendon and the career he's had. I mean, if somebody was in your shoes when you came in, obviously you was a big time player coming out of Ohio State, but Steve was a guy that really nobody knew about. But all of a sudden, he's in the lineup, he's cracking heads, he's a front of that. He's leading that front along you. So I think you're right. It's easy to kind of second guess guys till you see them actually go to work. And you're like, oh, maybe I need to shut up and just let the GMs be GMs. And
you just never know how this is gonna go. Like, I don't ever view anybody as a bust. I just view it as a fit. There can be a ton of things that go wrong, but it's all about what happens after the draft, right? And so I think you got to realize, it's great to be drafted, but the work starts after. You got to be willing to dedicate yourself, and sometimes just shut up and get to business.
Right.
Yeah, Cam, you tweeted last night, man. You said defense's best friend is a running game. Right. So you're liking the Najee pick. What are your thoughts on Najee Harris becoming a teammate?
That's me saying that, but I think our D coordinator, all of our defensive coaches were like, that's the best defensive asset we could have drafted. That dude, I've watched his tape. Man, when that dude got on the edge, it didn't even matter if anyone was blocking for him. The dude went and made plays, and I just love the way he fights. I think the thing that separates him from the other backs is he can block too, and he's very stout. And when you have a complete back like that, you can't second guess that.
I mean, firsthand, you had Levy on. You understood, a lot of us understood what he meant to that offense, man. You get a back that can block, catch the ball. You can put him in a slot. You can put him in any position. He can be effective, man. That's that. And one, I think you may know this because you've played a long time in the league. Having a healthy back come out of college means something. Yeah. You know what I mean? The fact that he's healthy at this current time, where he could participate in spring training, OTAs, and go into camp, where it's like showing off a new Ferrari. It's easy to buy one, but you want to see it go, right? So now exactly. Now you get to see him go. That's going to be big for the team.
Well, the funny thing is, you look at some of these running backs, when they step on the field, you know what they're going to do. You get a Giovanni Bernard. He's not blocking. He's a screen guy. And, when he gets in position, he's right behind the tackle. So he's getting out. You look at him, there are a plethora of things you can do with him. And I think that's what, in Matt Canada's offense is going to take a next step. It's not about just him getting the ball. It's about him blocking, him being able to run a play action, him being able to come out of the backfield for, a swing route, or even bring it up to a vertical route. These are all the opportunities you can do with this guy. And, it's going to be exciting to test out this new Ferrari we got.
You're right.
And
Joey, what the analysts like to say, he has range. They call it range. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. No doubt. Yeah, he's a do-it-all player. 3 down back. Another thing they like to say, right? Popular phrase. Yep. Let's go over to the defense, Cam. We got obviously up front. You get Aluwalu, bluffing on Jacksonville. He's coming back. Did you have a big hand in that? Were you like, hey, you can't go unless I say so?
I may have. No, but I like the thing I did, but you never know. Tyson had to make the decision for him and his family. For me, I was like, don't break up this band. We got something good up front, and I've enjoyed our 5 years together, and I still think he's still tapping into more. I think going back to Jacksonville just doesn't do it. I think you've already experienced what you've experienced there, but now you're back to Pitt. Let's keep it here. And I think he's played his best ball here. So why mess up a good thing?
Cam, I know why a lot of people take the discount and stay in Pittsburgh. It's reportedly talked about in the media, and it's kind of like glossed over. But from a team captain, a leader, a future Go Jacket, why do you think people will? Why do you think a lot of players stay in Pittsburgh and take the discount?
Man, it's not the weather, I tell you that.
Right.
Man, but I just think there's a level of honesty throughout the building, from the Rooneys to Coach Tomlin to your coaches to the players, and there's a brotherhood, I think, in our locker room. And I think we really have each other's back. It's not, some hoopla that once the off season starts, I forget about you.
Right.
You won't see me again until we have mini camp. We keep in contact with each other, and the level of competition you get in practice to wearing that Steeler logo, man, that's a match made in heaven, and most guys don't want to leave that. It's one thing for the money, but I feel like I've always said to myself, if you have a losing organization that offers you more money versus a winning organization that offers you more money, less money, I got to go with that. I'm going for my well-being more than me getting an extra check at that point.
No, I agree. I was in that position right after the Arizona Super Bowl. I had a chance to go to Chicago and make an extra $5 million, and I was I was pissed off when my wife now was pissed off because we had just started. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, you don't understand. Losing sucks, and losing in the trenches when you're digging and banging, and you don't necessarily believe. Like I believe. You were birthed into a Hall of Fame defense. I was birthed into a Hall of Fame team, and I'm honored to see Alan Faneca because I was on the line with Alan Faneca and to see Troy and all these guys. So when you're birthed into that, and then you see, and I'm glad you brought up the offseason because I knew a lot of guys that came from losing teams in the offseason. They weren't drinking because they had the money. They were drinking because they're like, fuck, we suck, and I got to go back to this. You know what I mean? So I was enduring guys who came from different organizations who had horror stories. Like, I don't know if you're a little bit younger than me, Cam, but when I got there, man, Warren Sapp was with the Raiders at the time. And I knew 2 guys that were with the Raiders. And they talked about the Oakland Raiders organization like if it was fucking Alcatraz. They were talking about fights in the weight room. Warren Sapp will only show up on Fridays. The locker room smelled like weed. Guys, it was just chaos. And I said to myself, there's no amount of money that would ever come from where we come from, bring me to that. You know what I mean? Obviously, I ended up being a fucking Jet, but my time was up. Pittsburgh, you got to go, old man. But at the end of the day, man, it's the culture. It's the brotherhood, like you just mentioned. And what I really try to tell a lot of people, Cam, and I know you can agree with this, is on any given Sunday, every man in the helmet is going to give their life to fight. And when people say that, they don't like to use life. And it was like, that's kind of morbid. And again, like, listen, I know for a fact I play with guys by the name of James Ferrier, Casey Hampton, Aaron Smith, Brett Kiesel. These men were willing to die on the field because they were at peace with their life. And Jamal Adams, a safety from the Jets, has said that at his rookie years, and they came at him and they bashed him, and they shouldn't have. Because he's a man who father played the game, and 2, has an extreme passion for the game. So he was talking with his heart And I played with a lot of guys like you, and I was happy that you were able to have leadership like Casey Hampton and James Harrison and all these guys, because those guys play with the pride, the heart, and the tenacity. Why would I ever leave that? Why would I? I'm gonna let you behind the curtain. When I was with the Jets, and I love the Jets organization, they allowed me to come home and be something. I was playing with guys who had thick ass resumes, who didn't give a shit what happened on Sunday. They just was getting the checks. They worried about their output and how they were perceived. I hated it within year 2. And so it's I think it's important that a lot of people understand it's not you're taking a discount because you know the man next to you is gonna go to war with you, go to battle with you every Sunday and mean it. And really mean it, bro.
Well, Willie, you would hear those stories where if they go 0-4 in September, they're already shipping their cars back for December.
Yeah. Right.
And so like, you know, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be in an organization that doesn't, you know, think the same way with my values. Like, you got to be putting in extra time to win in this game. You know, it doesn't come lightly. And if I'm the last one in the building and my coach is leaving, that's a problem. And you hear about these coaches, you know, they check out too. And, you know, it's scary. You know, we get to a level where everybody's got to be professional. We got so many unprofessional people in this game. It's crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Dog, I'll give you a quick story, Joey. I don't mean to take it over.
No, good. This is
Cleveland. I forgot what year it was, but it was the Cleveland last season. It was like towards the end of the season. We're in Pittsburgh, and we start to roll the tanks on them. We're just running the ball. Defense is kicking their ass. Offense is kicking their ass. And I remember we were about to go on and score, and one of the defensive tackles. This is the time when Big Baby Shawn Rodgers was on that defense, and they had a host of Cam and Wembley. All those guys were together over there. And I remember, I forgot who I was going against. But I remember we had a double team block, and I was just trying to dog his ass into the ground. He literally popped up. Wasn't mad that I was kicking his ass. He was more mad that was 3 minutes left in the game, and he was trying to stay injury free so he can catch a flight to the Bahamas in the next 2 days. Literally came out his mouth. And I mean, at the time, Darnell Stapleton, my right guard, he was like, "What you say, bro?" He's like, "Man, y'all need to let up, man. It's 3 minutes on the clock. Y'all gonna win. We ain't going to the playoffs. I'm not trying to get hurt out here." And that was like always, that was like burned into my brain, because if it was the shoes on the other foot, I would probably try to start a fight because I was bitter of getting my ass kicked, right? I would have been bitter. I was like, I'm just gonna start fighting everybody. That wasn't their mantra. So when you play different teams and you play different guys around the league, Joey, you start to say to yourself, like, listen, I'm good in this. I'm good. This grass right here, I'm okay with this grass. Cool. Even though it's fucking, you know, it's 14 degrees and my body's is squeaking, I'm okay. Keep me in.
Willie, but then like the good teams, they find reasons just to be pissed off.
Sure.
You know, you get those games where it's like, man, I just don't like the way people are talking about them. And you're like, I'm gonna make this a point today just to be extra.
No question. Petty. Yes, extra. So, Petty Braxton, as they would say.
Yes, but then you get the teams that don't think like that, and they're like, man, we'll just pack it up. We'll try again next week. And I'm like,
no.
Yeah. If I'm seeing this from afar, I don't want to be a part of this in the future.
No question.
Cam, you mentioned offensive line. You think that's where the Steelers got to go tonight, and I know Willie and I definitely agree with you on that. But let's, when they bring in a new guy like that, a young Mauler trying to prove himself coming in as a veteran D lineman, are you ready to just lick your chops and go after the young guy? Or are you like, shit, man, I got this energetic dude coming in here trying to prove himself? How do you feel when a young guy comes in like that?
I think about how Willie tried to, when I went in, they all jumped me at the first practice. So I have to do the same back. Like,
right. Bring him in right.
A welcoming to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I've heard about Tunch Ilkin and Wolf and how they would go against Me Joe. And Me Joe would not let up on those fools. So, there is a rite of passage to play Pittsburgh Steelers football.
I love that, man. Put it on a shirt.
He's 100% right. Cam's not lying, because my first OTAs, man, I was going against Aaron Smith, and Aaron Smith was an absolute fucking monster. He was just a dog of a man. Yeah. And I remember, I came from a spread offense, so I was used to standing up. At the time, my offensive line coach was Russ Graham. He was like, "Listen, you want to play in Pittsburgh, you got to put your hand in the dirt. Bottom line, so you got to come through in your stance. I need you to fire off the ball." So I spent like 2 practices just trying to get in my stance, get comfortable. And so Aaron Smith, who was working out, Cam would tell you, Hokey and Travis, they would be hitting the sled after practice, just firing off, right? So A. Smith walks over one day, and he's like, "Hey, man, I see you men out here working. Let me work with you. Let me help you out." So I'm like, boom. I'm thinking this is going to be a casual boom, boom, fit up. This motherfucker fired off in my face. Mind you, Joey, it's just me and him. I have no guard. I got no tight ends. We're just in a patch of grass, and he's kicking my ass. Like, to the point, I looked at him. I was like, "Homie, what up? Like, is this some shit I don't know about? Did I do something in practice?" And he was like, "No." He was like, "The reason I keep kicking your ass because you're tipping where you're going." And he was breaking down my stance, my hat movement, while my shoulders rolling over, how I was tipping off where I was going. So he was beating me to where I was trying to go and where I was firing. He was kicking my ass and teaching me at the same time. That's the steal away.
Yeah, this dude was hitting you with the Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, wham! Like my shit. I was just like,
man, I remember they jumped me the first practice, and you're young, you're like, I fought in practice before, and so I came over to the sideline. I didn't fight, and like Coach Mitch comes up and he goes, don't be afraid to whoop a man's ass in the first day of practice. I said, all right, Coach, appreciate that. Let me get back to business. The next period, I feel like there was just a fight and a brawl, and then all I see is Casey Hampton run on the field. And when Casey runs on the field, you know something's going on because Casey ain't running.
He ain't running for nothing, right? Yeah.
They don't call snaps for no reason, man.
Yes,
right.
That's too good, Cam. I know you got your fam, you got stuff going on a Friday night, man. I can't thank you enough for talking some Steelers and having fun with us tonight. We're gonna get us some linemen. You're gonna teach them the way, and we're gonna bring home 7, baby. All right?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
How do you,
Thanks for having me.
Keep leading them, brother. Love you, bro.
Appreciate you.
Yep. See you, man. That's Cam Heyward right there.